ago, it was the Columbus State Cougar basketball team knocking off Voorhees College 84-80 on this floor. And now they're right back at it as West Georgia, an undefeated Wolves team, comes inside the Lumpkin Center here on this Saturday afternoon. Hello, everyone. Welcome inside the Lumpkin Center on the campus of Columbus State University. Stephen Williams here with you on Cougar Sports TV as we get set for Cougar basketball. Robert Moore's bunch, 2-1 after the 84-80 victory over Voorhees College. A pesky bunch that was in here yesterday afternoon. And now they'll turn their sights to a West Georgia team that walks in here 5-0 and just defeated CSU a week ago today in Carrollton last Saturday, 73-63 there in the Coliseum at West Georgia. We had a chance to catch up prior to tip-off today with Cougar head coach Robert Moore. Let's hear what the head coach had to say. Cougar men's basketball coach Robert Moore with us as we get set for West Georgia. Coach, you've had about 24 hours to marinate on yesterday. What else have you seen from your team that you liked yesterday?
I thought we could have easily quit when Voorhees made a run at us, but I thought our guys stayed into the game. Two guys especially, is D'Angelo Kirkland and Jermaine Morgan, really gave us that fire to finish off the game. And, you know, Kenny Funderburg is the guy we got to get the ball to, and I thought those guys finished the game for us yesterday.
Take me through the last 24 hours for you. You play a game yesterday, you spend 2 hours there. At what point do you then turn to this game today?
No, we just told them in the locker room after the game. We just say, guys, we got to put this one behind us. I mean, we won the basketball game. Voorhees gave us a hard, tough game, and I think we needed that. And a lot of times when you get a blowout win, I think guys are a little bit too much confident. But I thought after that win last night, we talked about it in the locker room. We let it go. I went home and watched a lot of film of West Georgia. I watched a little bit of the Voorhees tape. We came in for shoot-around this morning at 9. Had pregame meal at 10, and we're here to play West Georgia today.
How much did it help that you just saw them 6 days ago and you weren't preparing for a brand-new team?
Oh, I think it was good for us because a lot of times when you have to watch 2 and 3 teams at one time, it's pretty tough for you. But we always had the philosophy we're going to go game by game. So we took care of Voorhees yesterday, and we just had a good shoot-around today and went over a lot of stuff that West Georgia does on offense and defense, and I think our guys are prepared and ready to play.
What is it West Georgia does best?
Oh, I think they run their motion offense with, numerous cuts and screens and back doors, and I think sometimes guys get a little bored and don't want to guard for 35 seconds. So what we're going to try to do today, Stephen, is put a lot of pressure on them so we can create some turnovers off our defense and see can we get some easy buckets. Because if you get into a half-court game with them, they're so hard to guard in the half-court.
Hey, you changed the game plan at all from what it looked like last week?
Oh, yeah, we did. We just made a few adjustments, but we want to play them zone a lot. They only have one really good shooter, Ryan Godfrey, and he can make threes from outside. If we can take him away, we feel like we can match up with those other guys. I think we're tat for tat with them, and just who's playing the better basketball today will win the game.
You look at the numbers from the last game, they really got on the offensive glass against you all. How do you all avoid that today?
I thought a lot of times, and I watched the tape, I thought a lot of times we should have had the first rebound, and we missed it, and they got the second one, and they scored. So second chance points really killed us. I told our guys we just got to rebound the basketball and secure the basketball and go the other way, because we get them second chance points. They're so strong underneath the bucket that I think it's going to hurt us. So our guys got to do a better job of securing the ball on the first rebound.
Ty Harris, Derek Spear didn't play yesterday. What's their availability today?
Oh, they'll be there today and ready to play. We'll start Nick Turner at the point, but Ty gave West Georgia a lot of trouble driving it down the lane up in Carrollton, so we got to put him in the game and let him get started. And Derek Spear will also play today.
Does it worry you at all that they've been out of it for a little bit?
I think so, and I just told both of them they got to be honest with the coaching staff and let us know if they can go and they can't go. If not, we'll just play those other guys. And, Stephen, I told you that at the beginning of the season. I think a good part about this team, we're pretty deep and we can play so many different guys. It might not be the same style, but we can play so many guys. So I think these guys got to go out there and play. I know they're a little sick, but they got to let us know if they need to come out and take a breather and just keep playing.
Coach, looking forward to it. Best of luck today.
All right. Thanks, Steve.
Head coach Robert Moore weighing in right before tip-off here on this Saturday afternoon. West Georgia, the opponent today, as the Cougars trying to get to 3-1, looking for their second straight victory on the season. But they're going to have to pick it up against a team that has beat them 4 times in the last 3 seasons, twice in 2011, including once on this floor. Last year, a 73-60 victory for West Georgia in Carrollton, and then a 73-63 victory in Carrollton for the Wolves just 7 days prior. So a tall task on tap for Robert Moore's bunch. They had a taxing 84-80 victory yesterday, as it was a Voorhees team that was down by 16 early in the first half, Columbus State kind of put it in cruise control, and it allowed Voorhees to get back into it. The Tigers led at halftime, and it was a back-and-forth affair over the final 20 minutes, so it took a little bit more out of the Cougars than probably necessary and that Robert Moore would have wanted. But if you heard BJ Battle yesterday in the postgame, talked about, hey, they're college athletes. This is what they were brought here to do, was play basketball. It's early in the season. They've got plenty of rest. They should be just fine. We're going to send things across the way as we get set for tip to our public address announcer, Brian Salido, who has your national anthem and your starting lineups here from the Lumpkin Center.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, and welcome to Columbus State University and the Lumpkin Center for today's men's basketball matchup, featuring the Wolves of the University of West Georgia and your Columbus State University Cougars. In just a moment, we'll introduce the starting lineups, but first we ask that you please rise and gently remove your hats as we honor the United States of America with the playing of our national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner.
Your starting lineups, your national anthem, and we're about ready to go from Columbus, Georgia. For West Georgia in their road uniforms, the red all the way up and down, the blue lettering and numerals, the white trim. It'll be Thomas Higginbotham along with Ryan Godfrey at the guard positions with Taylor Cochran, a junior from Fayetteville, Arkansas, Levon Gray, a senior from California, and Stephen Thompson, the leading scorer for this team, a junior transfer out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. On the opposite side for CSU, Shane Hayward in the middle, Nick Turner, Kenny Funderburk, BJ Battle in the backcourt. And then it's Brandon Dawson at the other forward position as we are officially underway, as it's controlled by West Georgia on the opening tip. CSU in the home white uniforms, the navy numerals, red lettering, looking for its second straight victory, 2-1 on the season. Thompson with his first touch kicks it out. Godfrey, who Robert Moore talked about in the pregame as their three-point shooter, and he gets the opening one to fall from the left wing. 73-63, West Georgia won this matchup on Saturday as Kenny Funderburk drives right into the middle of the paint and draws the foul and will head to the free throw line. Kenny so far this season, the junior transfer from Aiken Technical College in South Carolina, averaging 22 points a game. Had 15 in the opener against Carver Bible, had 26 on Saturday when these two teams met. And then he had 25 yesterday against Voorhees, including some big free throws down the stretch. Funderburk splits the pair. He spent a lot of time at the free throw line yesterday. Got there off the opening possession for CSU this afternoon. 3-1. West Georgia in front. Higginbotham drops it down low, or tries to. Nick Turner got a leg on it. The kickball called. Keeps it on that end. 21 on the shot clock. West Georgia team a perfect 5-0 this season. Started their season off with 3 victories over teams out of Puerto Rico as Higginbotham gets rid of it in the middle of the lane. That one goes between the legs of BJ Battle. And I'm going to say BJ touched it before it went out, so it'll stay in West Georgia's possession with 16 showing now. So 3 victories over schools from Puerto Rico as Funderburk comes away with the steal. He'll go one-on-one with Levon Gray, and Kenny just never could get possession of that dribble. He kept trying to gain it and couldn't control himself. West Georgia's other 2 victories came against Point, who we'll see in this building on Saturday a week from today, and then against CSU last Saturday. This is Higginbotham working on the right wing, Godfrey in the corner. You heard Coach Moore in pregame talk about they wanted to trap these guys on the perimeter, and they're doing so early on. Gray underneath. His first attempt doesn't go. Second one not there either, and Shane Hayward with the rebound. CSU wants to push the pace in this one. Turner, a 3 from the right side. It rolls out. Gray high for the rebound. Higginbotham will push it. CSU back defensively. Godfrey spotting up in front of the CSU bench, well short. Thompson's follow, basket, and foul. Stephen Thompson, the 6'4", 230-pound junior out of Milwaukee. The transfer from Oxnard College, a junior college out in California. Been in double figures in every game this season and comes in with a 16-point-per-game average. And he's off to a good start with 3 there as he gets the basket and the foul. As West Georgia will send its first sub into the game, DeAndre Brown, a sophomore out of Bolingbrook, Illinois. 6-1, West Georgia out to an early lead. When they played on Saturday, it was a 30-30 game at halftime. West Georgia getting the best of CSU in the second half. They get the ball into the hands of Funderburk, who lost it driving to the rim. They're going to say West Georgia touched it last. Michael Cooney in his 7th season at the helm there in Carrollton, up off the bench quickly to ask about that call. CSU keeps it. Battle will pull up. A follow-away 3 is short. Last touched by Cochran. So it'll stay with CSU, and with 17:59 showing on the clock, they'll get a brand new 35. BJ Battle got hot in the middle of that second half yesterday. Hit a trio of 3s that were big in keeping CSU in the game. Nick Turner dangerously close to midcourt, being guarded by Brown. Gives it up into the hands of Funderburk. They're trying to get the ball into his hands early and often today. Turner to the free throw line, cut off. And he gets bailed out at the charity stripe. From behind, a foul committed by LaVon Gray. Battle from the elbow, again falling away, doesn't get the friendly roll. So he's taken 2 shots, both of them fadeaways, and he left both of them short. CSU already trailing by 5 as they give Gray a touch outside the paint. Thompson working on Dawson, and Dawson's hit with the foul. Thompson, a guy that plays in the center, he's not very tall, just standing at 6'4", but he is a very wide and well-built individual. Going to be a challenge over the course of this one to keep him out of the middle of the paint. Thompson gets it again left side. Hayward guarding him and forces him to give it up. They swing it around the outside. Gray gets a touch on the opposite block. Working on Dawson. And they're going to say offensive foul against LaVon Gray. With that off left hand, the hook around Brandon Dawson is the second foul against Gray, and he'll have to come out of the game. There's 17:05 to go here in this first half, and in his place will come Emory Bernard. Referee right in front of us saying got to the baseline with the off arm, the hook around Dawson. So CSU trailing 6-1, needing points on the offensive end. 3 minutes gone by, just a lone free throw for their point to this juncture of the game. Battle drives into the center, dishes out Dawson. Dawson, a wild one, throws it up, and he gets bailed out as Thompson picks up the foul. So CSU, not great shot selection to start this one off, but they are doing a decent job of forcing the action. Already 4 fouls against West Georgia in just 3 minutes and 14 seconds. So Brandon Dawson, the senior out of Atlanta, the transfer from Kennesaw State, to the free throw line. Brandon scored the first 5 points of the game yesterday, and that was all he got. He scored CSU's first 5 and had nothing from that point on. Ended up only playing about 12 minutes of action as Robert Moore found a combination he liked in that second half, and Dawson wasn't in that 5. Brown trapped in the backcourt, able to dribble his way out of it. CSU trying to pick up the tempo. West Georgia would be just fine to play this game in the 60s. CSU would love to be up in the 80s or 90s when this one's done. Shot clock down to 15 as Brown works it around the perimeter. Thompson gets a touch in low, goes right at Dawson, who blocked the shot. The follow not there. Bernard, a third attempt, no. And Hayward finally rips it down. So multiple opportunities there for West Georgia, nothing to show for it. Funderburk to the rim, a wave off the shot attempt, and a body foul coming up against DeAndre Brown. So CSU, not known as a great free throw shooting team, but they could be shooting a lot of them before this half is over. Already 5 fouls against the Wolves, and we haven't played 4 minutes. Funderburk straight on, off the inbounds, nothing but net. Kenny Funderburk continuing his strong play as CSU's run off 5 in a row to tie the game at 6. Kenny with 4. 6 apiece, 4 minutes in. CSU in its 1-3-1 look. Hayward playing the back line. Turner up top. Cochran tries to drive, and he gets called, or rather he gets a blocking call called against Nick Turner. It's his first, 3rd against CSU so far. 15:44 showing on the clock. 6-6 our score, and we have our first media timeout. West Georgia, Columbus State tied at 6 early stages here in Columbus. Knotted up at 6, opening stages here in Columbus on this Saturday afternoon. Glad you're with us wherever you may be. Carrollton, where West Georgia hails from, just a couple hours up the road. And they're hoping to stay undefeated here on the road today as they look to improve to 6-0. CSU trying to get to 3-1. Brown works at left, Higginbotham into the corner. The first look we've had at Phillip Flowers, who's in the game now. Sean Boston also in the game for West Georgia. The shot attempt not there. Bernard's follow not there either. A third opportunity is blocked by Hayward, but here comes a fourth chance, and this is what got CSU in trouble in Carrollton. They gave multiple opportunities to West Georgia, and Robert Moore addressed that in the pregame, saying they have to do a better job of grabbing rebound number 1. Much less rebounds 2 and 3. The corner, an open look for Flowers, and on the fourth shot of the possession, Phillip Flowers knocks down the 3. Those are the ones that will hurt you the most. You give an opponent that many opportunities at the basket, eventually they're going to burn you. Battles floater off left, tipped his own miss, didn't go down. He fights for the third opportunity, and he will earn it as it was last touched by Boston of West Georgia. Hayward, Dawson, and Battle will sit down. D'Angelo Kirkland, R.J. Sessions, and Jermaine Morgan will check in for the first time for CSU. 14:40 on the clock, 9-6, West Georgia in front. Fresh 35 on the shot clock for CSU after the miss. Kirkland gets the immediate post, and he goes up with the right hand for the basket. D'Angelo was actually at one point posting up Jermaine Morgan, who didn't know he was there. D'Angelo comes in and gets his first 2. So 9-8, West Georgia scored 6 of the first 7. CSU, though, trying to settle in on the offensive end. Again, West Georgia, a half-court, methodical team, dragging the shot clock down to 10 now. Higginbotham off to Brown in the corner. This is Flowers. Cross court. Boston lost it. Down to 3 now. They're going to have to get a quick shot off. Flowers didn't get it off. The shot didn't go down anyway, but the shot wouldn't have been in time, and CSU forces the turnover. Ty Harris, the junior from New Orleans, will check in at the point guard spot. Played just 5 minutes yesterday. He, along with Derek Spear, have been under the weather a little bit. Sick over the course of this week, so Spear didn't play at all yesterday. Ty Harris played limited minutes, but Robert Moore said today they've got to have him, and so he'll be in there, and he's in there early today as D'Angelo Kirkland draws the foul against Emory Bernard, and with 13:41 to go, the next foul will put CSU at the free throw line. That was number 6 against West Georgia. So CSU, a team that only shoots it at 60% from the foul line, have an opportunity today, if they can shoot it better, to really add to their total from the charity stripe. Harris, the follow-away, too strong. Rebound for Boston, and Higginbotham wants to push it. Gets down, doesn't have numbers, backs it out. Flowers close to dragging that pivot foot on the pump fake. Gets it back, and they said he did travel that time. Took a step before he put the ball on the floor. A turnover against the Wolves. It's their 4th. Harris leading it the opposite way. Threw it left. Kinney ducked right. And it ends up in the hands of the West Georgia bench. So CSU's second turnover of the contest gives it back at 9-8 with just over 13 minutes to go. Neither side shooting it very well. CSU at 29%, 25% for West Georgia. R.J. Sessions applying pressure on the basketball. Brown gets it left wing. Back to Higginbotham. CSU putting a lot of pressure on the perimeter. That's what Robert Moore said they wanted to do. Ty Harris now guarding Higginbotham. 8 on the shot clock. Brown tries to split the middle, and he got all the way through it. No one picked him up, and DeAndre Brown has his first 2. Penetrated into the middle of the defense. Sessions for 3. Missed left. That would have tied the game at 11. Higginbotham, the outlet pass. A couple of CSU players run into each other, tipping it away, and it'll stay with West Georgia at 11-8. Dimitri Davis in. Kenny Funderburk will sit down. So CSU with 5 bench players on the floor. Godfrey comes back in for West Georgia, as does LaVon Gray. Gray had been sitting for 5 minutes after picking up 2 early fouls, and Michael Cooney choosing to gamble with him a little bit and put him on the floor with the 2, trusting his senior to be a veteran out there and not pick up number 3. CSU sitting in that zone. Davis comes out to guard Flowers. They swing it around to Godfrey. He'll go cross court with it. Flowers will try another one, and he's got his second from downtown. CSU zone will give up outside shots, and so far West Georgia has a trio of them. Kirkland's long 2 goes down. D'Angelo with an early 4. D'Angelo, a guy with good size at 6'8", but has the ability to step out and knock it down from about 17 feet, which you saw right there. Godfrey hemmed up in the corner by Kirkland. Good defense by the big man. And then as Godfrey got rid of the pass, a foul coming up against D'Angelo Kirkland. It's his first. 4th foul against CSU, 6 on the opposite side for West Georgia. 14-10 our score, and we've got a media timeout. West Georgia by 4, first half here, Columbus State trailing. West Georgia on top, 14-10 with possession of the basketball coming up after the foul. There have been 7 rebounds had on the West Georgia offensive end. 5 of them have been pulled down by West Georgia. They have 5 offensive rebounds to just 2 defensive rebounds for CSU. West Georgia out rebounding the Cougars 10-4. Higginbotham goes off the dribble, finds Gray underneath, and they're going to say he traveled. I don't think Gray was expecting that pass from Higginbotham. And ended up traveling with the basketball. 14-10 the score, 11:20 to play in the first half. Low scoring so far to this point favors West Georgia. West Georgia now settling into a zone of its own. 2-3 look from the Wolves. Harris, elbow shot, doesn't go down. Good follow on the part of R.J. Sessions, crashing the glass. Couldn't get the basket to go down, but does draw the foul. Ryan Godfrey picks up the foul. That's 7 against West Georgia, and 2 shots coming up for R.J. Sessions. R.J., a guy that CSU is looking to get a little more out of on the offensive end. Just averaging 3 points a game, a guy that's arguably the best pure shooter for this CSU team. Struggled with his shot a little bit so far this season. He's just 1 of 10, counting his miss today from beyond the arc. But a guy that can score and score in bunches, and they're waiting for that breakout moment for him. The freshman from right here at Columbus Northside High School. Gets both free throws to go down, his first 2 points of the game, and CSU gets an opportunity to press off the make. They get it into the front court in the hands of Stephen Thompson, who just checked back in, and they break the press just fine. West Georgia has never trailed. Lead it by 2 here as Thompson gives it up. Gray couldn't hold on to it. Sessions comes away with the steal. Pushes it the other way. Davis will drive and kick out. And we've got an offensive foul coming up against Dimitri Davis. Got caught up in the air. Crashed into the defender and picked up the offensive foul, his first. And gives away the opportunity to tie the game at 14. CSU still with its second 5 on the floor. Harris, a starter for the first 2 games, hasn't been in the starting lineup the last 2 because he'd been sick as West Georgia gets numbers. Tauline with his first attempt from outside, doesn't go down. Rebound fought for, controlled by Gray. And Ty Harris is going to get hit with the foul. So again, CSU gives up an offensive rebound. As they've struggled in that department. Derek Spear will check in for the first time, give Ty Harris a rest. Derek didn't play at all yesterday after missing a lot of the week with an illness. And now we've got an illegal screen off the inbounds coming up. And now a warning has been issued to Michael Cooney, and he's been hit with a technical foul. Didn't like the foul call. Levon Gray had just picked up his 3rd foul on an illegal screen off the inbounds. That set Michael Cooney off, and he's picked up the technical foul. So it'll give CSU an opportunity to tie this game up, and they'll have possession with 10:25 to go in this first half. Michael Cooney hit with the technical foul. RJ Sessions, the one they'll send to the free throw line. That was foul number 3 on Levon Gray, and we haven't even played 10 minutes yet. RJ knocks them both down. He's got 4 all from the free throw line. We're tied at 14, and CSU will have the basketball. Emery Bernard back into the game. Levon Gray forced to sit, and you would imagine we won't see him at all for the rest of this first half. That's 3 now on the senior out of Milpitas, California. CSU trying to lead for the first time. Jermaine Morgan drives baseline. 2 players hit the floor. The shot didn't go down. Morgan kept it alive, though, on the tip and got the rebound. 2 players tried to draw the charge, and that left the rebound wide open. Jermaine, a second opportunity, a strong spin move, back to the basket, and Jermaine Morgan lays it in on the left side. CSU in front for the first time now at 16-14. Cougars with the lead, trying to pick up the pace now. High-low, Bernard dropping it down for Thompson, and Jermaine Morgan hit with the foul. Number of fouls in this game so far, really killing any kind of rhythm or flow that this game might have. 7th foul against CSU. It was Jermaine's first, and so it'll send Stephen Thompson to the free throw line, where he will have the 1-and-1. Thompson had an and 1 early in the game. Had not played and not scored since that point. At the line, adding to his total. Misses the second one. And that one was last touched by Jermaine, tipped down off of his hand, and it'll stay with West Georgia, so another offensive second opportunity. Higginbotham will come out. Cochran comes back onto the floor. It's Cochran along with Boston, Godfrey, Tauline, and Thompson in red for West Georgia. Beyond the midway point here in the first half, Thompson got around Kirkland, and now a blocking foul coming up against Jermaine Morgan. He was set, but then started to slide to his left as Thompson went around him, and Jermaine's going to pick up his second foul of the possession. And Thompson will head to the free throw line. We'll have 2 more. Jermaine will check out after picking up the second foul. That'll give Brandon Dawson an opportunity to come back into the game. Thompson leaves them both on the line, so 1 for 4 from the line on that sequence, and CSU will retain the lead. Spear runs right over Godfrey, but Godfrey backing up draws the blocking foul. The basket will count as well as Spear was able to knock it off the glass. Ryan Godfrey in disbelief that one was called against him, and so he'll pick up the foul. It'll be his second. And for Derek Spear, he'll head to the line looking to add it one more time. 18-15, CSU's largest margin. And now we've got a technical foul against West Georgia for having 6 players on the floor. So West Georgia having all kinds of issues here in this first half. Tauline didn't get off the floor in time. And so West Georgia hit with a team technical foul in addition to the one that Michael Cooney already has in this game. And RJ Sessions is just going to make a living at the free throw line. Already matched his season high of 5 points. Second one now, it gives him 6, so a new season high for the freshman from Columbus. And now Derek Spear will go to the line with a chance to add a free throw to his basket he already made. Derek Spear can't get the free throw to fall. 20-15 though, CSU out by 5. Again, CSU stays in its zone, trying to take away the interior of this West Georgia offense. And Thompson turns it over. Bad pass intended for Boston. Sessions leading it the other way. Goes with the carry is what's going to get called. He tried to make a move in the center of the lane and carried the basketball. A big smile on his face as he walks back to the other end. The turnover on CSU is its 5th. CSU in the midst of a 12-1 run after West Georgia led this one at 14-8. CSU wanted to travel. The shot wasn't there on the part of Sean Boston. CSU makes it a one-shot possession. They'll throw it up. D'Angelo Kirkland didn't get high enough to finish it with the dunk on the alley-oop. It was last touched by West Georgia as it goes out of bounds, so CSU will keep it, but D'Angelo would like to have that one back. Joseph Harrell in the game for West Georgia at the moment, a sophomore out of Albany, Georgia. Phillip Flowers comes back on the floor as well. DeAndre Brown also back in. Dawson steps inside the free throw line, count it, and one. Brandon Dawson with 2, a chance to make it 3. As Joseph Harrell picks up the foul, it's his first. That's 10 now against West Georgia. And Brandon Dawson a chance to add on. His misses as well, though. CSU 9 of 12 now from the free throw line. They've missed their last 2 opportunities, though, on and one plays. Swinging around the outside, Flowers from the left wing, give him another one. That's his 3rd from downtown. Flowers is making this zone of CSU pay as he cuts it down to a 4-point game. Spear to the rim, the finger roll falls short. Brown leading it the other way. Cut off by Spear. And then from behind, I believe Derek is going to get called for the reach in. for Derrick. That's foul number 1. It's the 9th against CSU, so the 1-1 here for DeAndre Brown. 7:53 to go, though, and both sides will be in the double bonus from here on out. Tough to get any kind of rhythm going at the moment. Front end miss on the part of DeAndre Brown, so missed opportunity as CSU has it the other way. RJ Sessions again can't find it from outside. Brown the rebound, and he'll push it down to the opposite side. Flowers well off, and now we've got some pace to the game. Funderburk with the right hand off the glass and down. Kenny Funderburk with 6. Pace pushed the other way by Brown. He'll choose to slow it up, though, as CSU back defensively. That's the style of game CSU would like to play. Push it when you have the opportunity. Harrell double teamed at the elbow. Gives it off to Cochran. Funderburk gambled against Thompson, didn't get to it. Shot clock at 13. Underneath, Thompson on the baseline. His shot doesn't go down. Tipped around. Thompson touched it last. 24-18. CSU in front by 6. 7:04 to play. Media timeout on the floor. Columbus State in front on this Saturday afternoon. Stephen Williams back here with you on Cougar Sports TV. 7:04 to play in this first half. 24-18. Columbus State in front of West Georgia. Cougars in the midst now of a 16-4 run as Funderburk drives right. Has that one pitched out of there by Harrell. Brown the opposite end. Goes between the legs, finds Flowers on the right side. Robert Moore directing traffic as CSU settles back into that zone, and Funderburk picks off a lazy pass. BJ Battle with it. The finger roll misses. Easy miss in transition for CSU. And back the other way comes West Georgia. Cochran off to Brown as the Wolves will slow it down. CSU forcing turnovers but not making it count on the opposite side. 9 turnovers against West Georgia as Harrell's hook doesn't go down, but the follow on the tip for Stephen Thompson. Thompson now with 6. And now a foul coming up away from the basketball underneath against CSU. It'll go against Shane Hayward. That'll be his second. Robert Moore will leave him on the floor, though, with 2 fouls. Cochran will come out. Godfrey will come back in for West Georgia. Godfrey, the senior from Rockingham, West Australia, back on the floor playing with 2 fouls. Battle, the steal again. Can he finish this time? He goes up with a right hand, and this time working on Thompson. BJ Battle is able to finish it off, and Michael Cooney wants to talk things over. Not happy with his Wolves. Battle the layup in transition. 26-20. CSU in front by 6, 5:40 to play.
13 years ago, Columbus State played an inaugural game.
Michael Cooney wanting to talk things over after his bunch getting a little sloppy on the offensive end, already into double digits in turnovers. 10 turnovers leading to 10 points for CSU, who leads it 26-20 late in half number one. West Georgia has made just 3 two-point field goals as Godfrey drops it off for Thompson. Thompson will draw the foul against Shane Hayward, and that's going to be his third. So Shane Hayward stayed on the floor after picking up foul number 2, and he, like LaVon Gray on the opposite side, now has 3 fouls here in the first half. Stephen Thompson, a guy that's very physical underneath the basket, gets to the free throw line with a lot of frequency. He shot 41 of them coming into today in just 5 games. So you do the math, that's 8 free throw attempts per game on average. And he's already been there a handful of times this afternoon. 7 by my count. Thompson with the 2 free throws cuts it back down to a 4-point game. D'Angelo Kirkland has checked into the game in place of Shane Hayward, who has the 3 fouls. Nick Turner also back in at the point guard spot. Dimitri Davis doubled up on the baseline, off to B.J. Battle. He'll pull up from 10 feet, and B.J. has back-to-back baskets. B.J. with 15 in yesterday's game, played well. Higginbotham leading the way at the point guard spot for West Georgia. CSU dropping back into a man-to-man now, switching up the look. Higginbotham just didn't see that one into his hands. The pass from Godfrey went right through the midst of Higginbotham. And it's an 11th turnover against West Georgia. They're struggling in that department. So far, so good defensively for CSU. 4.5 to go in the first half. Kirkland, a 3 goes down for the big man. D'Angelo Kirkland, and with his first 3 of the season, he's now 1 for 2. As he knocks that one down, he has 7, and on the opposite end, Higginbotham will head to the free throw line after Nick Turner commits his 2nd foul. So D'Angelo Kirkland showing he's got a little bit of range on that jump shot. His season high is 7. He has, or rather his season high is 8. He has 7 already today as Higginbotham misses the free throw. Harrell will check out. It'll be Sean Boston that will check on in place of him. 31-22 is the largest lead for CSU at 9. Higginbotham's 2nd free throw is good. His first point of the game. West Georgia just 4 of 9 for the free throw line, though, and they're a team that doesn't shoot it well. Just 56% as a team for the year. Screen set, Battle, a high arcing 3, touches nothing but nylon, and it's a double-digit game now at 11, 34-23, and BJ now has 7. He told us yesterday, you get 1 to go down, and all of a sudden you think all of them are going to go. As Kirkland blocked that shot by Thompson. CSU a chance to add on. West Georgia got back in transition and slowed Derek Spear up, who's in place of Nick Turner, who just picked up his 2nd foul. B.J. Battle coming off the curl. Kirkland with it up top, playing on Thompson. He'll look for Davis underneath. Godfrey tipped it away. It'll go out of bounds and stay with CSU with 14 on the shot clock. Media timeout, though. CSU trying to pull away in half number 1. A good stretch for them. 3:26 to play. They lead it by 11. Columbus St. out to an 11-point edge, 34-23. They lead West Georgia with 3 and change remaining here in the first half. Columbus State trailed this one 14-8. Since that point now, they're on a 26-9 run, trying to continue to add to their lead. D'Angelo Kirkland with a mismatch underneath, and they're going to say he pushed off before he could get that ball. He was working against Ryan Godfrey, who was giving up 5 inches at least. But D'Angelo pushed off and was called for the foul. It's his second, and he'll step off the floor. So CSU will sacrifice some size as Kenny Funderburk will come in place of D'Angelo Kirkland, who now has his second foul. Fouls aplenty across the board in this first half. 23 fouls between the two teams. Up top, they swing it to the corner for Flowers. Double teamed in the corner. Had to kick it out, down to 16 on the shot clock. Boston left side. Flowers will drive just inside the free throw line. The 2 doesn't go down. Rebound tipped around, pulled in by Thompson, who lays it in. Another second chance opportunity for West Georgia. That's now 10 of their 25 points off second chance. Dawson won't even get a chance to put that one up as B.J. Battle gets hit with the foul. That's his first. Called for an illegal screen there, backing down a defender as Higginbotham will check out. Cochran in. Tauline comes back in place of Flowers. So it's down to a 9-point game now. 2.5 minutes to go. Cochran at the free throw line, steps in and goes off the glass, and Taylor Cochran has his first 2. Down to a 7-point game now. CSU led it by 11, but 4 in a row after the timeout for West Georgia, pulling them within 7. Wolves led this one by as much as 6, as Dimitri Davis throws up a wild one, nowhere close. Godfrey pushing it to the corner. Tauline has to save it in. Last touched by B.J. Battle as the pass was driving Tauline out of bounds. 1:55 to go now in the half, and it'll stay with West Georgia. Wolves trying to put a little run together to take some momentum into the locker room. Tauline trying to add to the run, and he'll do so. The sophomore from Australia knocks down the 3, and it's a 4-point game and a 7-0 West Georgia run. And Robert Moore will take a timeout for Columbus State. What was an 11-point game is now down to 4. 1:45 to go in the half. Columbus State leading it 34-30. CSU was leading this one 34-23 when we went to the under 4 media timeout. That was with 3:26 to go. It's since that point a little less than 2 minutes of game action. It's been a 7-0 run for West Georgia and a chance to continue it as Funderburk missed near the rim. This is Cochran off to Tauline, who just hit the 3. Thompson, a mismatch, working on Derek Spear. Tauline will try for a second in a row, and he's got it. It's a 10-0 run in a 1-point game. That's the 6th tray of the game for West Georgia. Battle, the crossover, the 3 is short. Rebound for Thompson and a foul from behind, and West Georgia, with 1:02 to go in this first half, will walk to the other end with a chance to take the lead at the free throw line. Stephen Thompson will pull to the opposite side at the free throw line and have 2 opportunities with his team trailing by 1. Thompson looked good on that free throw. He's 5 of 8 at the free throw line on the afternoon. And he already has a double-double in this first half. Thompson, before this next free throw, 11 points and 10 rebounds already. That's his 3rd in 6 games this season as the next free throw misses, tapped out by Boston, and CSU will get it back. Robert Moore was looking for an over-the-back call. Doesn't get it, but it's an 11-0 run now. As the clock rolls under a minute to go. 11-0 run erases an 11-point deficit. Pass too wide that time for Battle. As Jay Manning is just into the game, gives it up. Derek Spear with it, backs it out. Shot clock at 15. 40 now on the game clock. Spear, the finger roll around Tauline gives CSU the lead. Derek Spear now with 4. Shot clock off. West Georgia can hold for the final possession should it choose, and that's what it looks like they're going to do. 23 now and counting. Higginbotham wanting to get a timeout called, and he will right here in the front court. 19.4 to go. West Georgia with a 30-second timeout, leading it by 2 at 30, or rather trailing it by 2 at 36-34. Columbus State led it 34-24, and then it was an 11-0 run for West Georgia that erased that. Derek Spear just put an end to that 11-0 run with the layup. Gives him 4 points in the game. But CSU had an opportunity to really have a big lead going into the locker room and forfeited that opportunity away. Eerily similar to what happened to them yesterday when they led by 16 in the first half and ended up trailing by 2 when they went to the halftime break. The shot clock is off, so West Georgia has the last possession if they want it. 17 seconds left to play in this first half. Columbus State up by 2. Godfrey will drive all the way to the rim. Uncontested, he missed it, but Thompson got it on the follow. CSU a chance in a tie game to take the lead. Spear all the way to the rim, will lay it in as the horn sounds. Derek Spear will go coast to coast and put in his 5th and 6th points of the first half to give CSU the lead as they go to the locker room. Both teams had their moments where they were dominating this game and they were leading it by a handful. CSU had the largest lead at 11, but it's just a 2-point game as we go to the locker room at halftime. 38-36. CSU in front by 2 as we hit the halftime break. Your first half scoring numbers. Kenny Funderburk, CSU's leading scorer, a relatively quiet half. He finishes with just 6 points in half number 1. BJ Battle has 7 to lead the way, along with D'Angelo Kirkland, who also had 7. RJ Sessions and Derek Spear each had 6. 4 for Brandon Dawson and 2 for Jermaine Morgan. On the opposite side, it's been the Stephen Thompson show. 11 rebounds to go along with 13 points for the double-double for the junior out of Milwaukee. 9 for Phillip Flowers on his trio of 3-pointers. 6 for Zach Tauline. He's hit a couple of threes as well. 3 for Ryan Godfrey, 2 for DeAndre Brown and Taylor Cochran. And Thomas Higginbotham has a single free throw for his only point. So we go to the locker rooms at halftime. 38-36, Columbus State in front by 2. We'll take the halftime break with them, come back and take a look at some of the action going on today across the Peach Belt Conference. CSU up by 2 at the break. Stephen Williams back here with you on Cougar Sports TV, Columbus, Georgia, where we are. The Lumpkin Center, as Columbus State leads it 38-36 as they get ready for the second half against West Georgia. Columbus State led by as much as 11. West Georgia led at one point by 6 points. Yesterday, Columbus State gave up a last-second basket to be losing at the half. Today, Derek Spear gave them one as the horn sounded to put them ahead by 2, 38-36 as they went to the locker room. Some of your other first half numbers: CSU shot 46% as a team in the opening half, 13 of 28 from the field. They were 3 of 8 from beyond the arc and 9 of 12 from the free throw line. On the opposite side, 41% for West Georgia, 6 of 8 though from downtown. They shot threes at quite a high proficiency level. 6 of 12 though from the free throw line for West Georgia, so it was a bit of a struggle from the charity stripe. CSU getting out-rebounded badly, 23-15, including giving up 9 offensive rebounds to West Georgia. That has turned into 12 second-chance points, a lot of those belonging to Stephen Thompson. Where CSU is winning this game so far has been in the turnover battle. West Georgia's turned it over 11 times, and CSU has capitalized for 13 points off of those turnovers. Just 8 CSU turnovers and 6 points off of that for West Georgia. For the second straight day, Columbus State is the first of the games to go off in the Peach Belt Conference. Today, the only game playing right now is this one. There's a lot more, though, coming up later on. Lander at 3:30, so about an hour and a half from now, will host Southern Wesleyan. Flagler has a home matchup today with Palm Beach Atlantic. Young Harris playing in a Thanksgiving Classic up in Owensboro, Kentucky. Had a wild one yesterday, winning 108, or losing rather, 108-106 in overtime. They'll have Wilberforce coming up at 6 o'clock tonight. Georgia Regents will host Payne, and Armstrong will be in the Eckerd College Classic for the second straight day after falling to Tampa in a very low-scoring game yesterday. They will take on the host, Eckerd, at 7:30 tonight. So plenty of Peach Belt Conference action. We are 2 weeks away from conference play kicking off for CSU. The first actual conference game is coming up on Monday night. Georgia College and Francis Marion will get together. But CSU will hit conference play for the first time December 14th. Montevallo will be in this building for the opening doubleheader. That's 2 weeks exactly from today. So looking forward to that. Second half as they hit the floor, Kenny Funderburk, Nick Turner, Brandon Dawson, along with D'Angelo Kirkland and B.J. Battle out there in the starting lineup for CSU. So no Shane Hayward coming out of the locker room, as he had 3 fouls in that first half. So D'Angelo Kirkland, who played a good first half, getting the start in the second 20 minutes. B.J. Battle kicks it out for Nick Turner. He'll pull up from 17 feet. The shot way off, and I believe LaVon Gray, who started the second half, just picked up a rebounding foul, and that's going to be his 4th. LaVon Gray lasted just 4 minutes in that first half before picking up 3 fouls. He had just 4 minutes of game action. Picked up his 3rd foul at the 10:25 mark. And Gray now, who just kicked a chair over on the bench, picked up foul number 4 as the shot doesn't go down, and Stephen Thompson has the rebound. Higginbotham, Godfrey, Thompson, and Cochran out there along with Gray, but Gray had to come out, so it's Harrell that gets the start, and it's an and one. That's a continuation call, I believe, on the part of Stephen Thompson. But Thompson picks up the basket and the foul, as the foul was against Brandon Dawson. And that'll be his 3rd, and so he'll have to come out. So Stephen Thompson, who had an outstanding first half, to the line to add to his total. Thompson knocks it down, and now DeAndre Brown will check in place of Thomas Higginbotham. And West Georgia takes the early lead in the second half, 39-38. Both sides have led over the course of this game, and CSU is going to wedge back in front as BJ Battle hits his second three of the contest, and he's into double figures with 10. First Cougar to hit double figures now. Battle leading the way with 10 for CSU. Thompson has 16 for West Georgia, as that one is not good from downtown for Godfrey. And they're going to say D'Angelo Kirkland was out of bounds when he touched it for CSU. So West Georgia has a second chance opportunity once again. A minute 15 gone by in the second half. CSU tipping that one right past Michael Cooney on the bench. Kenny Funderburg got his hand on that one. You imagine Kenny Funderburg, if CSU is going to win this game, is going to have to play a bigger role in half number 2. He had just 6 points in the opening half, just took 4 shots. Wasn't in any kind of foul trouble, just wasn't much of the offensive game plan in that first portion. That pass way wide for Thompson, and Michael Cooney gets up off the bench and gets right in the face of DeAndre Brown. Not happy with his point guard there, and he's immediately going to take him off the floor in favor of Higginbotham. That was the 12th turnover against the Wolves, and CSU back with the basketball up 2. Underneath, nobody finds Funderburg. He snuck in on the backside, was wide open, and a good look that time by BJ Battle to find him, and Kenny has 8. Underneath, similar for Harrell, but Kirkland closed it off. The shot was blocked from behind that time by Funderburg. Blocked the shot of Thompson. So CSU a chance to add on to a 4-point game now. BJ thought about another one, and Sid he'll drive, has that one rejected by Harrell. Cochran leading it the other end. Funderburg with the block, and then the block comes down on the back of Cochran. Kenny Funderburg saying, not in my house right now. Blocks on back-to-back possessions for Funderburg. CSU with 5 blocks in the game. So Kenny saying nothing's going to come easy here, as a foul comes up away from the ball against Joseph Harrell. And so this second half starting very similarly to the way the first half did. A lot of fouls against West Georgia. The Wolves picked up a lot of fouls early, but then by the time the half was over, CSU had actually committed more fouls than West Georgia had. Kirkland with it, gives it off, Funderburg to the rim. The shot doesn't go, and it's another West Georgia foul. I believe Harrell just got hit with another one. That's his 3rd now. It's going to be a war of attrition down the stretch here if they're not careful. 4 fouls on Levon Gray, 3 on Joseph Harrell. On the other side, 3 on Brandon Dawson, 3 on Shane Hayward. So Kenny Funderburg, 8 points in the game, back to the line where he'll have 2. Kenny came in averaging 22 points per game. Harrell will come out with the 3 fouls. Emory Bernard, the junior out of Atlanta, back into the game as that one spins out. And now a foul coming up on the rebound against D'Angelo Kirkland, who, guess what, has 3 now. So D'Angelo now has 3 fouls, and they're going to have to leave him on the floor. It's he or Shane Hayward, and they each have 3. Brandon Dawson, the other one that plays in the post, has 3 as well. The 3-point opportunity from the corner for Flowers, not good. Battle ran down the rebound. BJ into the corner, Funderburg, a left corner 3, doesn't go, off the back rim. (44-39), CSU by 5 as they try to drop it down low for Bernard, and it just skips right past him out of bounds. Michael Cooney that time doesn't even bother getting off the bench, just folds his arms and leans back in his chair. West Georgia struggling today in the turnover category. It's 13 of them. CSU, though, has to make it hurt. Battle for 3, short. Rebound, Thompson. Thompson with his 14th rebound. got a chance for 20 and 20 today, the way this one's going. CSU back defensively into its zone. Onto the right side, Higginbotham. Got to find the shooters, though, in the zone. Flowers, one of them, dancing around the baseline. Higginbotham, the jump stop, missed it. Rebound pulled in by Kirkland, and it was knocked out of his hands by Higginbotham, so CSU will keep it. D'Angelo Kirkland forced to come off the floor, and he's not happy about it, but he does have 3 fouls, so Robert Moore getting him out of the game. I don't think D'Angelo's upset with Robert Moore. I think he's more upset that he has 3 fouls. Been tough to get any kind of flow to this game due to the number of fouls on both sides. Funderburk from 12 feet will draw the foul as he hits the floor. Emery Bernard didn't like the call, but Kenny's a good shooter, and that shot came up about 2 feet short, so something happened. Foul on Bernard is his second, the 4th of the half against West Georgia, so Kenny Funderburk back to the free throw line. Kenny had 26 the first time these two met, had 25 yesterday, averaging 22 points a game right now for the year. Has a very quiet 10 points today, but already very active here in this second half. They're going to need him to play a big role, and so far so good. 46-39, CSU up by 7. West Georgia scored the first 3 of the half. CSU scored the next 8. Thompson trying to back down on Davis, and they're going to hit Dimitri Davis with the foul. Both sides having issues with the refereeing in this one, but you will say this, they've been tight, but they've been tight on both ends. Not against one side or the other. 46-39 the score. CSU in front by 7. Media timeout on the floor. 15:56 to play inside the Lumpkin Center. Also going on right now in Columbus State Athletics, Jonathan Norton's Lady Cougars are underway now in the Peach Belt Conference SIAC Challenge going on in Americus today at Georgia Southwestern. The undefeated Lady Cougars taking on Fort Valley State for the second time this season. A little under 8 minutes gone by in that one as Tauline hits the 3 off the inbounds. Columbus State trailing Fort Valley 17-15. So we'll keep an eye on how that one's going as the day progresses. Tauline, though, with the big shot out of the timeout there for West Georgia. Badly needed that one. He has 9 now on 3 3-pointers. Turner off the screen will try for one of his own. It falls out. Jermaine Morgan with the rebound tap, kept it alive, and CSU gets a second opportunity. Jermaine's done that a couple of times today. Not necessarily needing to grab the rebound, but tipping it out so a teammate can get it. Kenny Funderburk off the screen, falling left, it fell out. BJ Battle with the rebound, so a third now. Look at it. CSU doing something that West Georgia has done to them all day. Battle off a screen, picked up by Tauline. And now a foul coming up on an illegal screen against CSU's Dimitri Davis. That's his third. So CSU is running out of guys that have any kind of size because of foul trouble. Jay Manning comes into the game. Played just 1 minute in the first half, but now he's going to play in the middle of this zone for CSU as West Georgia turns it over again on just a bad pass. CSU's CSU's pressure hasn't been too hounding here in this second half. West Georgia's just making sloppy passes. 46-42, Funderburk drives and dishes. Battle goes to the corner for Turner. Underneath, Jermaine Morgan hit with the offensive foul. Jermaine Morgan hit with his third. So 5 fouls against CSU, 4 against West Georgia. CSU now has 5 guys with 3 fouls in the game. And again, another pass from West Georgia that just finds its way out of bounds. Michael Cooney just looks baffled on the sideline as he's going to check Godfrey out, get Cochran in. It's stunning to watch a team as good as West Georgia is throw pass after pass after pass out of bounds without being pressured, just sailing them right out of bounds. Shane Hayward just checked in for CSU. They go right to him, and his shot goes halfway down and falls out. Higginbotham on the hesitation goes right at B.J. Battle, and he'll draw the foul. For B.J., that's his second. There may not be anybody left in this one by the time we're done. 14:07 to go. It's the 6th foul against CSU. Second on BJ, and Thomas Higginbotham to the free throw line where he'll have 2. West Georgia, by the way, from here on out, will be shooting free throws on every foul, so that should be fun.
Columbus State, by the way, scored 15 points off turnovers.
46-43 now, as Higginbotham knocks them both down. All 3 of his points have come from the free throw line, and he'll sit down as DeAndre Brown will return to the game. CSU led it by 7, and West Georgia on a mini 5-0 run here. It's been a game of runs. CSU put together an 8-0 run to pull out to a 7-point lead in this half. West Georgia has countered now with 5 in a row of its own. Funderburk from the corner rolls off, and now CSU hit with a rebounding foul. Jay Manning hit with the foul. It's his first. Fans back behind me letting the referees know how many fouls they've called. We've played 6 minutes and 8 seconds in this half. They've called 11 fouls as Tallene missed the free throw on the front end of the 1-and-1. Battle, size advantage on Brown. He tries to drive right at him and knocks down the mid-range basket. B.J. Battle with a rare basket in this half that actually comes from the floor and not the free throw line. 4-point game, stops a 5-0 West Georgia run. Thompson working on Hayward. Hayward blocks his shot. The second one blocked as well. And then the pass stolen by Manning. Good defensive possession for CSU. A pair of blocks for Shane Hayward and a steal. And now they're going to give Shane an opportunity working against a smaller Sean Boston. The hook over top of him is good. Strong 30 seconds for Shane Hayward right there. That's the guy Robert Moore recruited out of Middle Georgia College. 6-point game, 50-44. That was about as dominant a 30 seconds as you can play as a big man. 6-point game again as CSU gets 4 in a row back. Boston long 2, off to the left. Rebound and follow is there for Boston, who got it himself. And before the long outlet pass, it becomes a timeout, West Georgia. Michael Cooney set to talk things over with his Wolves. 12:34 showing on the clock here in the Lumpkin Center. 50-46, Columbus State leading by 4. Neither side lighting it up here in this second half from the field. CSU just 4 of 13 from the field for 31%. And believe it or not, that's actually the better percentage of the two teams. West Georgia's 3 of 11 for 27%. 50-46, Columbus State in front. They've led for the majority of this second half. There was just a few seconds that West Georgia held a 39-38 lead. Thompson trying to front Hayward as they try to get him the basketball. Shane asking for it. He finally does get it. They're going to wave the basket off and call the foul against Stephen Thompson. This is where Thompson has his trouble, though. He's 6'4", so he's a little bit limited height-wise. A guy like Shane Hayward, 6'6", has a couple of inches on him, and that causes him some problems as CSU with an unforced error. The pass from Manning, too wide for Turner, and goes into the backcourt and out of bounds. So both sides getting sloppy with their passing. CSU's turned it over 11 times. 16 turnovers for West Georgia have turned into 17 CSU points. Godfrey's going to drive, has his shot blocked by Hayward, who got another one. The save inbounds a couple of times, ends up on the floor, and Thompson scrambles to get a timeout for West Georgia. So with 12:01 to go, West Georgia ends up with a timeout. Shane Hayward now with 3 blocks as he gets another one, as Shane is playing very well down the stretch here for CSU. 50-46 where it stands. Another check of things in the first half from Americus. Jonathan Norton's bunch putting a run together, and they surged in front 22-18 in front of Fort Valley State. They defeated Fort Valley State 81-69 the first time they met. That was the regular season opener for the Lady Cougars. They're perfect 3-0. First time they've been 3-0 in a couple of years. Trying to run that to 4-0. They get Albany State in Americus tomorrow at 2 o'clock. So they're hoping to be 5-0 at weekend's end. 15 on the shot clock for West Georgia with it now as we roll under 12 minutes to go. That one deflected away into the hands of Cochran, down to 7 now. Godfrey drives, dishes. Brown, he'll drive, lost it, and it's turned over. They were down to 2 on the shot clock, and it's a turnover. Robert Moore calling out the play. D'Angelo Kirkland back on the floor. He's playing with Shane Hayward now, so CSU going with its biggest lineup. BJ Battle cut off, finds Funderburk. He'll drive on the baseline, has his shot blocked, but a foul coming up, waves the shot off anyway, as the foul goes on Sean Boston. And for Boston, that's just his first. That's a rarity in this ball game. 50-46 our score, the under 12 media timeout. 11:27 to play, Columbus State leading West Georgia by 4. Columbus State by 4, 50-46. They lead West Georgia, 11:27 to play in this one. Nick Turner will inbound it for CSU after the foul against Kenny Funderburk on his drive. The inbounds pass, though, is stolen away. DeAndre Brown took the inbounds pass right out of the air. 12th turnover now against the Cougars. 50-46, CSU up by 4. They swing it cross court, the kick out. Brown didn't want the shot. Gets it again, decides to pass, gives it to Cochran, who airballed it short. Wasn't even close. West Georgia shot the 3-ball pretty well, but not on that time. So CSU will get it back. Levon Gray will return to the floor. We'll see how long he can last. He picked up his 4th foul just 16 seconds into this half. He's played less than 5 minutes for the game. He's back in there, as is Phillip Flowers. CSU's put Derek Spear out there as Funderburk missed his shot. The follow doesn't go down, and who is this foul against? Foul goes against DeAndre Brown. It's his 2nd. And Kenny Funderburk will head back to the free throw line. Kenny's done a great job this season of getting to the line 21 times in the 3 games he's played this season. Today, these are his 7th and 8th free throws. He's just 4 of 7, though, today, as Thomas Higginbotham comes back in place of DeAndre Brown. R.J. Sessions comes in for CSU in favor of B.J. Battle. Kenny rattles the 2nd one home. He's got 12. 6 of that coming here in this first 9 minutes and change of the second half. Gray posting up on Hayward, kicks it out. Boston from straight on. 2-point game now. Sean Boston with 5 all in this half. That was the 8th 3-point make of the game for West Georgia. 51-49. Underneath, Hayward has his shot blocked by Boston. They went right at Levon Gray, and he backed away. The shot is good for Boston on the other end, and we're tied. In that exchange, coming back down the floor, Robert Moore was a split second from a technical foul. The ref put the whistle in his mouth and then backed out of it. And an offensive foul coming up against Derek Spear of CSU for pushing off with the offhand. That was the 8th foul against CSU, but player control foul means no free throws, even though both teams are in the bonus. Tied at 51, West Georgia's led by just 1 point in this half at one time as Shane Hayward throws another shot out of bounds. Nothing is coming easy right now in the paint for West Georgia with Shane Hayward back there defensively. That's his 4th block, all of them in this half. 23 on the shot clock for the inbounds. Tied at 51. The last time West Georgia led, 39-38 after the opening possessions of this second half. Gray gets a touch, working on Hayward, and lost his dribble. The ball's loose. They hit the floor for it. Godfrey has it. He'll pull up with the shot clock expiring, and he airballed. They're going to wave the shot off. Say shot clock sounded before the shot went up, and a shot clock violation, an 18th turnover on West Georgia. That was close, but it did look like it was just a second too late. So CSU hasn't relinquished the lead just yet. 9-10 left to play now. Kirkland will pull up over Boston. Too strong, rebound Higginbotham. The point guard will push it the other way. Godfrey in transition, rattled out. Rebound for Flowers, out to Higginbotham, and they'll reset it. Offensive rebound there for West Georgia is their 15th. Godfrey kicks to the corner, up Flowers 3, and West Georgia is in front. Flowers with his 4th from downtown, and it's 54-51. West Georgia in front by 3 now. 8-1 run for the Wolves. RJ for the tie, back rim. Godfrey the long board. Flowers loose for a second, didn't take the shot though. Layup not there for Gray, and he has to back away on the rebound with 4 fouls. Funderburk in rhythm, bottom. Kenny Funderburk with the 3, his second, and we're tied at 54, and it's game on with 8 minutes to go. Intensity picking up, energy level picking up. Higginbotham thought about it and decided better of it. Boston hits the floor to save the pass, and Godfrey has it rejected by R.J. Sessions. Flowers wide open on the opposite side, and he's got another one. Phillip Flowers with his 5th from downtown. Spear to the rim, basket, count it, and he'll have a chance to tie it. When there's not being fouls called, and we can have a little fun here in the Lumpkin Center. And now with 7:22 to go, we've got a media timeout. CSU with a chance to tie after the break. 57-56, West Georgia up by 1. Columbus State trailing this one 57-56. They'll play again coming up on the 2nd of December. That'll be on Monday. They'll be in Fort Valley to take on Fort Valley State. The next time we're here is next Saturday, a week from today. 12-2 men's and women's doubleheader. The men will actually play first, as these Cougars will take on Point University before Jonathan Norton's Lady Cougars take on Selma in the follow-up as Derek Spear misses the free throw. Those games next Saturday here on Cougar Sports TV come your way at 12-2. Foul and the basket. Not quite sure how they can count that basket. Foul looked like it occurred out near the free throw line, but they went ahead and counted it for Higginbotham, who puts West Georgia up by 3 after the foul committed by Derek Spear as his 3rd. So Higginbotham at the line, knocks the free throw in. That gives him 6. That's doubling up his average for the season, as Boston will sit down for the Wolves, and Stephen Thompson, who's been quiet in this second half after 13 and half one. He has just 3 here in the second. He's back on the floor, though. 60-56, West Georgia by 4. Their largest lead is 6. Hayward wanting to go right at Gray. Gave it up after the double team, and it's stolen. Flowers to the other end, gets the layup in transition, and it's a 6-point West Georgia lead. Flowers has 17. He's the game leader now. Spear will try a 3. Rattles home. Derek Spear having his best game by far this season. He's got 11. CSU needed that one in the worst of ways. It's a 3-point game now, 62-59. 6.5 to go here in the Lumpkin Center. Off to Thompson. He's working on Hayward. Bodies him up, and B.J. Battle stole the pass. Another bad pass on the part of the Wolves. That was their 19th turnover. So CSU a chance to pull within 1 or tie with 6 minutes to go. Funderburk goes away from the screen, just inside the elbow, knocks it down. Kenny Funderburk with 17, and it's a 1-point game. Back and forth, the two sides go, 62-61. Flowers off the screen, the follow-away goes down, and Flowers feeling it. He has 19 now, 10 of them here in the second half. Most of them coming here in the last 4 minutes. Back to a three-point game now, 64-61. Hayward gets the touch. This time they don't double. He goes right around Gray on the pump fake, and Shane Hayward with the slam. Gray, playing with 4 fouls, just has to let him go once he got by. CSU needs a stop on this end now. Trailing by 1. They switch off the screen. Funderburk guarding Higginbotham now. And a holding foul coming up against B.J. Battle. That's his 3rd and the 10th against CSU, which means this is the double bonus coming up for Ryan Godfrey. Guy doesn't get to the line very often, but when he does, he usually makes it count. He's 6 of 7 from the free throw line for the season. Godfrey hit a 3 on the opening sequence for West Georgia. Since that moment, this was his first point. He was scoreless from that point on. Knocks both of those down, though. He's got 5. And now DeAndre Brown is in favor of Higginbotham. So seesaw in the last few possessions between 3 and 1. The lead for West Georgia. Under 5 to go now. Cougars trying to get to 3 and 1. West Georgia trying to stay undefeated. Came into the day 5-0 as Funderburk gets the screen from Kirkland. He's going to split it, give it off to D'Angelo, and he'll dunk it home. That play all set up by Funderburk. He got the screen from Kirkland and then ran the pick and roll to perfection. And now D'Angelo has a steal, but they're going to say he was standing on the sideline before he got it. D'Angelo and Shane Hayward, the two big guys playing in the game at the same time right now, having very good second halves. D'Angelo has 9 points, Shane with 4, but he also has 4 blocks in this half. 65-66, West Georgia in front. Flowers for another one. Rebound tipped out off the hands of Stephen Thompson, so it'll go to CSU. One of the few times Flowers has missed from downtown today. He has 5 of them. CSU a chance for the lead now, 4:15 to go. They get it in the hands of Funderburk. They're going to run the screen again to this time with Hayward. Funderburk goes away from it, though. The follow-away missed on the backside. The tip fell out. Battle had the tip there, but it fell off. So it's still West Georgia by 1. Thompson with it now. Guarded by Hayward. Kirkland helps out. Higginbotham gets it, cutting to the basket. Thompson was double-teamed, found a cutting Higginbotham to the rim for 2. Hayward double-teamed, goes cross-court, and a bad pass, gives it up. CSU saying it was tipped. The referees saying no, it wasn't, and with 3:29 to go, our final media timeout, West Georgia by 3, 68-65. West Georgia in front. Another update for you from Americus, where the Lady Cougars are in action, and they're running away with it now. They're shooting the lights out against Fort Valley State. 66% from the field are the Lady Cougars right now, and they're winning 47-28 with a minute and change to go over Fort Valley State as they try to get to 4-0 on the season. So closing in on halftime, and so far so good for the Lady Cougars. The men, though, need to do a little work here in the final 3 minutes. Thompson drives to the rim, got caught on the underside of the basket, got his own miss back. The shot up and no good, and D'Angelo Kirkland called for the foul. For D'Angelo, that's his fourth. So Stephen Thompson will head to the free throw line. He's 6 of 10 from there today, 16 points, 18 rebounds for the junior. (69-65). West Georgia's largest lead has been 6. Closing in on that number here is Thompson. Back rim on the second one. Rebound for Kirkland, so it stays a 4-point game with 3:05 left. CSU needing a basket now. Where do they go to get it? Funderburk working on Flowers. He's double teamed as he started to drive. Drives again, shoots it over 2 defenders. A bad shot for CSU, and a rebound for Thompson as his 19th. So now West Georgia, a team that loves to play half court, will use a little clock. Godfrey all the way to the rim, left hand, it fell off. Rebound tipped into the hands of Flowers, though, and West Georgia can run 35 more. 2.5 left to play now. Still a 4-point West Georgia lead. Higginbotham has it tipped away. He goes to go get it right in front of Scott Miller and the radio crew. Crashes into the table, but it'll stay with West Georgia with 17. So 2:18 to play, 4-point game. 15 on the shot clock now. Jermaine Morgan into the game for CSU in place of Shane Hayward. Higginbotham into the lane, the floater, missed to the left. Rebound tipped around, and it's going to stay with West Georgia, and this has been the story of the game for CSU. They can't get defensive rebounds. And Robert Moore now wants to take a timeout to talk things over. CSU struggling to grab defensive rebounds, and West Georgia trying to run the clock out on them here inside the Lumpkin Center. 2:04 to play. West Georgia 69, CSU 65. Down to 2 minutes and 4 seconds. Columbus State in need of a run here to get back in front. They trail it by 4, a fresh 35 for West Georgia now. Higginbotham's not going to use it as D'Angelo Kirkland throws his shot out of the lane. Outlet pass, though, is stolen away. CSU had it back and turns it over. So 2 missed West Georgia shots and a block, and CSU doesn't give it back at all. And D'Angelo Kirkland is a little bit lame as he messed up his ankle, it looks like, after he came down after the block. The 3 is a backbreaker there from Ryan Godfrey. It makes it a 7-point game. Funderburk to the other end will draw the foul, but it's a 7-point game as Ryan Godfrey hits the 3 to make it 72-65, and CSU with no one to blame in that last sequence but themselves. As Funderburk heads to the free throw line. Kinney closing in on another 20-point night.
Columbus has tried 20 free throws today. We've tried 21.
Has 18, make it 19 as it's a 5-point game.
Checking in for West Georgia, number 21,
Sean Boston in, Levon Gray out as CSU goes to the full court press. 1:26 to go, 5-point game. 72-67. Can CSU force a turnover? They just about get one. It'll stay with West Georgia after it was knocked out of the hands of Boston. 72-67, 1:23 to go now. Godfrey will trigger the inbounds. He gets it into Higginbotham. There's a man wide open. Can they get it to him? Flowers juggled it for a second. Drops it off now for Thompson. Thompson missed the easy one. And then D'Angelo Kirkland is fouled. Number one, there was no need for West Georgia to rush into a shot. And number two, they missed it. Number three, they committed a foul. So 3 problems there on that possession for West Georgia. And with 1:13 to go, Columbus State will walk to the other end where D'Angelo Kirkland, who has not been a very good free throw shooter this season, will have 2 shots. D'Angelo, his first free throw attempts of the day, he's 3 of 9 for the year.
9 points and 6 rebounds.
2 huge opportunities here, and he can't knock the first one down. Cochran and Gray back in, Higginbotham out along with Boston. D'Angelo needing to knock this one down to pull CSU within 4.
Up 5 with 1:13.
Second one goes down. D'Angelo in double figures. He has 10, and Robert Moore is going to take another 30-second timeout. 72-68, West Georgia in front. Both teams in the double bonus at the free throw line. And Columbus State in need of a defensive stop here. 1:13 showing, so West Georgia, should they choose to use the entire shot clock, could push this one down around 40 seconds by the time CSU gets it back. So Columbus State likely is going to have to foul eventually in order to get back in this one. Otherwise, they're going to need to force turnovers. No need to foul right away. Play this possession out, see if you can force a turnover. And again, neither one of these two teams shoots free throws well, so we'll see if that comes into play. West Georgia, just 13 of 21 today, 62%, and they're only 56% for the season, so it's not like they shoot lights out from the line. They get it into the hands of Thompson, who's double-teamed right in front of the CSU bench. There's a tie-up, and the possession arrow favors West Georgia, so they'll keep it. But the alternate possession arrow now will change. So now the next time it happens, CSU will have that possession arrow. Godfrey to inbounds it now. He can't move, and he's right in front of that CSU bench. Tough spot to get the inbounds in. Finds Cochran. He's double-teamed. Funderburk knocks it away from him. It's loose on the floor, and there's the tie-up. So they get back-to-back tie-ups, and CSU gets it back. That was why the prior one was so important. All you needed to do was get another one, and then it paid off. So in a 4-point game, 1:02 to go, CSU with the basketball now. Gray comes back in. Thompson comes back in. Cochran sits down, as does Flowers. CSU trailing by 4. They got the turnover they needed. Now it's time to get a basket off of it. You don't want to use too much clock to do so. Kirkland backing down Thompson. The shot up, doesn't go down, but Thompson commits the foul. That would have been humongous for CSU, and that one fallen. But instead, D'Angelo Kirkland will have to go to the line where he'll try to earn the 2 points the hard way. 55 seconds exactly left to play. 4-point game. Kirkland looks good on that free throw. Give him 11. D'Angelo with a new season high this afternoon. 11 points, 6 rebounds. 1 possession game. Second one falls in. Down to a 2-point game, and you don't have to foul. Back to the full court press, though. They double team Boston, and they're going to say a foul committed by CSU, trying to double team Sean Boston. Ryan Godfrey hit the floor next to the CSU bench, and he's a little shaken up, trying to walk it off. Foul went on Jermaine Morgan. It's his 4th. Double bonus time, though, as Boston will walk to the opposite end where he will shoot 2 free throws. Boston for the season, 13 of 19 from the line, 68%. Needs them both to make this a 2-possession game. 52.4 showing on the clock. Doesn't make the first one, wasn't close, missed it wide left. So regardless of what happens, it's going to be a 1-possession game after this shot. Boston's second is good. Boston now has 8. He'll check out in favor of Cochran, 73-70. CSU trailing by 3. They're giving themselves a chance. No need to go for the 3 here unless you get it in rhythm. Still plenty of time to get 2 and foul on the other end and keep the game alive. Spear almost turned it over, though. Higginbotham almost forced it. Battle getting set to take the shot, and we've got a timeout called by Robert Moore. B.J. Battle missed the shot, so a well-timed timeout by Robert Moore. 40.1 showing on the clock now, 73-70. Columbus State with plenty of options on the court. They've got 4 of their 5 players out there in double figures in scoring. Kenny Funderburk, along with Phillip Flowers for West Georgia, leads the game with 19 points. B.J. Battle, D'Angelo Kirkland each have 12. Derek Spear has 11. So plenty of offensive options. And again, with 40.1 showing on the clock, it's not necessary that CSU goes and gets a 3-point shot here. Plenty of time for them to keep the game going, get an easy look at a 2, and then go to the other end, foul, and force West Georgia, who's missed 9 of its 23 free throws today, to try to knock 2 of them down again. CSU trailed this one 72-65 after Ryan Godfrey hit a big 3. They've worked their way back down to just 3, though, and they have possession of the basketball. Turnovers on the full court press and missed free throws have kept CSU alive. Kenny Funderburk will inbounds it on the sideline. Shot clock at 23. That's not an issue, though. CSU will get a shot off well before that. Funderburk with it. Into the corner, it goes for Battle. He throws it, almost turned over, and it is turned over on the other side. Cochran will miss the dunk. It's still alive for CSU. 23 seconds to go. Battle for the tie. Good! B.J. Battle with the 3 for the tie, and Robert Moore takes time out. Taylor Cochran had the steal, had the dunk, and missed it. It would have put the game away. And then on the other end, B.J. Battle buries the 3 to tie the game at 73 apiece. 5-point turnaround, and CSU has knotted it up with 19.4 seconds to go. West Georgia will have the final shot if they want it. 19.4, 73-73. Where does Michael Cooney choose to go with this shot? Stephen Thompson has 17 points. Phillip Flowers has 19. Flowers, though, isn't on the floor. It's Higginbotham, Cochran, Godfrey, Gray, and Thompson. 19 seconds to go. Final opportunity for West Georgia in regulation. Spear, pressure in the backcourt, guarding Higginbotham. Down to 11, off to Godfrey, off to Higginbotham, 8, 7, Higginbotham off a screen. Funderburk picks him up. Cochran with 3. The shot for the win. Not good. The tip no good. And let's play 5 more minutes. Overtime coming up here inside the Lumpkin Center. The final shot went to Taylor Cochran. Had just 2 points in this game. Averages just 5 per game. But he got the final shot. And the junior out of Fayetteville, Arkansas, couldn't get it to fall. So they'll put 5 more minutes on the clock, and we'll try again. B.J. Battle with the biggest shot of the ball game for CSU. CSU had it, trailing 73-70, turned it over. Taylor Cochran on the run out for West Georgia after the turnover had a wide open slam dunk that could have put this game all but away. He missed the one-handed dunk. It bounced out. CSU got the rebound, walked to the other end, and B.J. Battle hit a 3 from near NBA range on the right wing and forced this one into overtime after Taylor Cochran missed the shot with 2 seconds to go. There was actually a tip up as well. Not sure who got a hand on it to tip it up, but the tip had an opportunity. It didn't go down, and CSU has forced overtime. Funderburk, Battle, Spear, Morgan, and Kirkland. The 5 on the floor for CSU. Gray, Higginbotham, Godfrey, Thompson, and Flowers for West Georgia. At what point do fouls become a factor now? D'Angelo Kirkland has 4. Levon Gray has 4. Jermaine Morgan with 4 as well. All of those guys on the floor as B.J. Battle runs down the opening tip, and CSU has the first possession in overtime. First overtime that we've played this season inside the Lumpkin Center. Kirkland missed it. Jermaine couldn't get up high enough for the follow. Godfrey thought about it, picked up by Spear. Flowers calling for it in the corner. They didn't get it to him quick enough. Higginbotham off a screen. Godfrey is wide open, and he missed it. Rebound for Flowers on the offensive side, and then he turns it over. Funderburk can't control it, though, gives it right back. Scramble mode, find the shooters. Flowers in the corner. He's got another one. Phillip Flowers with the 3 puts West Georgia back up by 3. B.J. Battle, who hit the 3 to tie it, has 2 more. B.J. Battle with 2 makes it a 1-point game, 76-75. B.J. has 17 now. Higginbotham around Kirkland, missed the shot. Rebound tapped in the hands of Spear. They outlet it up for Battle, too high, and it's turned over. Bad decision by Derek Spear that time. 3:40 to go, CSU with its 19th turnover. Higginbotham drives around Spear, dishes off. Flowers will try for another one. That one missed well right. Rebound tapped out by Gray over the sideline, and CSU will have it. Flowers has made 6 of them today from beyond the arc. West Georgia by 1. (76-75), 3:15 to go in overtime. Spear trying to find Funderburk, who got behind Flowers, and Flowers, all he can do is commit the foul. It'll be his second, and Kenny Funderburk will head to the free throw line. Kenny a chance here at the line to have his 3rd consecutive 20-point outing. Free throw up and good. Kenny 8 of 11 from the line today, 20 points now. 3 consecutive games for the junior from Charlotte. 21 and a CSU lead now, 77-76, 4 in a row for the Cougars. CSU with pressure again in the backcourt. It caused issues for West Georgia late in regulation. Higginbotham Looking for somewhere to go, finds Flowers. Down to 15 on the shot clock. Flowers needs some help, finds Higginbotham, down to 10. Thompson gets a touch, working on Morgan. He'll spin around him, go baseline. The shot doesn't go down. He got his own miss, and he's fouled, and Kirkland or Morgan is done. Jermaine Morgan is the one that picks up the foul, and that's it. So Jermaine Morgan is fouled out. Just 2 points for him, but he played good minutes down the stretch defensively. But Stephen Thompson will head to the free throw line. We'll have 2 now. Thompson, 17 points and 20 rebounds. Free throw, bounces around and goes down. CSU 18-2 over their last 20 games in overtime. They've been good in extra frames in their last 20 tries. Second one didn't go down. We're tied at 77, halfway through overtime. 2.5 minutes to go. Shane Hayward, the one that checked in place of Jermaine Morgan after fouling out. BJ Battle for 3, missed to the right. That one would have brought the house down. Higginbotham now, looking for somewhere to deliver it to. Spear guarding him. Tied at 77, overtime here in Columbus, Georgia. Undefeated West Georgia and CSU at 2-1. That one deflected by Battle, goes out of bounds. 2:01 left, 14 on the shot clock. If you're just joining us, BJ Battle, the one that sent us into overtime. A 3-point basket with 19 seconds to go, tying the game at 73. Higginbotham into the lane, the floater off the back rim, rebound tapped around, Kirkland gets it. Every rebound so important, extra importance here in overtime. Spear with the basketball, working on Higginbotham, picks up his dribble, finds Kirkland. He'll go off the dribble, drive into the lane, the shot up, no good, and I believe LaVon Gray is done. LaVon Gray picks up the blocking foul. That'll be his 5th. It's been a tough afternoon for the senior from California. Came in averaging 9 points and 7 rebounds a game. He was scoreless this afternoon. Foul trouble limited him all afternoon. Played 4 minutes in the first half, 15 in regulation, and he played the first 3 here of overtime. They'll send Sean Boston in place of Gray, who fouls out with 0. D'Angelo Kirkland to the free throw line. Kirkland with 12 points in the game. This is the spot that he needs to work on. Knocks it down calmly, though. D'Angelo now with 13 points, 8 rebounds, closing in on a double-double. CSU back in front, and D'Angelo has now made 5 in a row from the charity stripe. Stolen away from behind. Funderburk behind the back and the lay-in. Kenny Funderburk, the steal and the layup. 81-77. Funderburk adds 2 more. Underneath, they swing it. Godfrey thought about it, drives, dishes, into the corner, Flowers. They're going to say he was standing out of bounds. 1:07 to go. And CSU leads at 81-77 as West Georgia takes timeout. D'Angelo Kirkland steps to the free throw line, knocks down 2 free throws calmly. He had struggled in that department this season. And then with the full court press again, CSU comes away with a steal. Funderburk with some nifty dribbling gets the steal. It goes behind the back and finishes with the right hand. He has 23 points today to lead the way, lead 4 Cougars in double figures, and they lead at 81-77 with 1:07 showing here in overtime. Columbus State trailed this one 76-73 after Phillip Flowers hit a three to start overtime. It's an 8-1 run for them since then, and they lead by 4, 81-77, a minute 7 still to play. Out of the timeout, CSU with the basketball. Spear, Battle, Funderburk, Kirkland, and RJ Sessions out there as CSU has to rush to get it in. West Georgia looks like they're going to play defense, although they're pressuring in the backcourt as the pass was tipped out of bounds by West Georgia, so it will stay with Columbus State. 1:01 showing, 29 on the shot clock. They get it into the hands of Kenny Funderburk. CSU is going to milk this clock for everything it's worth. Spear being guarded by Higginbotham. Down to 50. 15 now showing on the shot clock. Gets a screen from Kirkland. Spear hemmed up, gives it off to Battle, down to 8. Off to Spear, they got to go with it now. Derrick drives, the runner off the glass, not there. Rebound tapped around, and a foul coming up against CSU, and I believe it was D'Angelo Kirkland, and that's his 5th. So D'Angelo Kirkland fouls out. Very good performance, though, from the big man for CSU. 14 points, 8 rebounds, and it'll be up to Shane Hayward for CSU to try to finish this one out. 34 seconds to go. 81-77, CSU by 4. Stephen Thompson to the free throw line, where he's 8 for 14 today. Free throw short. West Georgia now 15 of 26 from the line. Thompson's second is good. It's a 3-point game, 1-possession game now. West Georgia has to foul, though, at some point. Shot clock is off. I would imagine as soon as it gets across midcourt, they'll commit the foul, and Godfrey does. Derrick Spear is going to step to the free throw line. Derrick didn't play yesterday at all. He's been sick all week. Came in late in the first half in this one, and he has played pretty much the whole way from the second half on. Spear misses the first, though, of 2. That was his first free throw of the season. Brandon Dawson in for defensive purposes for CSU. Derrick Spear with 25.7 seconds left, a chance to make this a 2-possession game. Second one good. Derrick with 12. 4-point game, though. West Georgia is going to have to hurry it across. Higginbotham picked up his dribble, and a timeout, West Georgia. Higginbotham picked up his dribble in a bad spot, and it turns into a timeout for the Wolves. 82-78. If you're CSU, you've got to play defense without fouling here. 4-point game, there's no 4-point shot. So there's no way West Georgia can tie it on this possession without CSU committing a foul. So you'll play defense, allow them to score if that's what happens, and then you've got to get the ball inbounds and in the hands of a good free throw shooter. CSU trying to hand West Georgia its first loss in 6 tries this season. They've lost to them 4 times in the last 3 years, trying to snap that right here. Higginbotham along with Godfrey, Boston, Flowers, and Thompson on the floor. 4-point lead for CSU, 17.8 to go. Higginbotham with it. They've got to hurry. Flowers will step up. The long 2 doesn't go down. The rebound into the hands of Derrick Spear, and they have to foul. They'll foul Spear with 7.7 to go. And it appears CSU is going to pick up a huge victory on its home floor. Foul was on Flowers. That's his 3rd. 2 shots coming up for Derrick Spear. Derek calmly knocks the first down. 13 for the junior. Second one doesn't go down. It's a 5-point game. 3 in the corner for Flowers, not there. Rebound, Hayward, ball game. 83-78. CSU wins it by 5. Overtime from the Lumpkin Center, and the Cougars are 3-1 on the season now. West Georgia with the loss falls to 5-1 as they take their first loss of the season. Columbus State with the victory has now won 2 in a row. And Robert Moore's bunch has avenged an earlier loss this season. Its only loss of the year to this West Georgia team coming a week ago today, and today they get it back 83-78. Stick around, post-game coming up here from the Lumpkin Center as we'll talk with Robert Moore, and also Derek Spear is going to walk over, and we'll hear from the junior point guard for the Cougars as he makes his way over. Strong afternoon from Columbus State, though. Big shot down the stretch, 83-78. Columbus State wins it by 5 as Derek Spear, the junior point guard, sits down with us. Entertaining ball game. How you feel? You've been sick all week. You didn't play yesterday. Your fatigue good?
Yes, sir. It's good. It's getting back to good.
Did it take you a while to get in any kind of rhythm today, not having played in a week?
No, sir. No, sir. I mean, I'm a good basketball player, so it's very well for me.
Take us through what was going on in that late in the ball game. It seemed like it was going back and forth. You all had your opportunities, and then BJ gets the big shot down the stretch. What was the message going into overtime?
Just play hard and play defense, and we're going to come out with a win.
You look at it, you have struggled with free throws a little bit this season in some ball games. Down the stretch, how much did you want the ball in your hands?
I wanted it real bad. I wanted to close out for my team and let them know that I'm still here.
How big is it for you all to get this one back against a good basketball team that just knocked you all off?
It was a great win for us because it gives us a lot of confidence going into the next game and the season.
You'll come back now 2 days from now. You got to go to Fort Valley. What are some of the things you'll have to work on the next 2 days?
Free throws and defense and boxing out, rebounding.
Derek, good game for you today. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Derek Spear wrapping things up for us here post-game at the Lumpkin Center as he finishes the afternoon with 13 points. He hit a couple of free throws down the stretch to help ice that one away. CSU was leading it 73, or rather was trailing it 73-70 at the end, or towards the end of regulation as the Cougars were down 3. They got the basketball, had a chance to tie, turned it over. Taylor Cochran got the steal for West Georgia, was cruising to the opposite end, looking for a basket to put the game away to make it a 5-point game with just seconds to go. Cochran cruising in for a dunk, though. Didn't get the dunk to go down. He started to slam it with one hand. The dunk bounced out, and it went back to the opposite side for CSU. At that point, B.J. Battle stepped into a 3 from just about NBA range, knocked down the 3, the big shot for B.J., his third 3 of the game, and it becomes a tie game at 73 with 19 seconds to go. West Georgia got a couple of looks at the basket in the final seconds, didn't get the shot to go down, and we went to overtime. After West Georgia went ahead by 3 off the opening possession on a Phillip Flowers 3, CSU went on an 8-1 run, pulled out in front, and made enough free throws down the stretch that they were able to pick up the victory, improving to 3-1 on the season with the 83-78 victory over West Georgia here in overtime. Your final scoring numbers look like this. Kenny Funderburk, surprise, surprise, leads CSU in scoring for the third consecutive game as he finishes with 23 points today on 6 of 14 shooting, 9 of 12 from the free throw line. He played 40 minutes. Nobody else played more than 31, but Funderburk has become this team's best player, and he ends up with 23 points, his third consecutive outing with 20-plus. And he leads 4 Cougars in double figures. B.J. Battle gets 17, including the big 3 that tied the game up. D'Angelo Kirkland with by far his best game in a Columbus State uniform, 14 points and 8 rebounds for the junior out of Pensacola, Florida. 13 for Derek Spear, 5 of 7 for him from the field in 24 minutes of action when he hadn't played in a week after sitting out yesterday's game and has been sick and off the floor, held out of play, but played huge roles today, and we'll talk to Robert Moore about that in just a few moments. 6 points for R.J. Sessions, all from the free throw line, 4 apiece for Brandon Dawson and for Shane Hayward, who had his presence felt on the defensive end of the floor as he had 4 blocks. Opposite side, Phillip Flowers had 22 points, 6 of 10 for him from the three-point line. The big day, though, belonged to Stephen Thompson. 19 points, 21 rebounds, including 9 offensive rebounds. He'd like to have a few of the free throws back that he missed, though. He was 9 of 16 from the free throw line. 8 points apiece for Higginbotham and Godfrey. Also 8 for Boston and Zach Tallene. Finished with 9 on 3 of 4 shooting from beyond the arc. CSU shoots 44% for the game as opposed to 37% for West Georgia. West Georgia went 1 for 8 from the field in overtime. They hit their first one and then didn't make any more after that down the stretch. CSU goes 7 of 17 from beyond the arc, 41% for the Cougars there. West Georgia knocked down 12 from distance, 12 of 22, 55% from outside. CSU not a particularly great shooting team from the free throw line over the course of the season so far, but today, 24 of 33, 73%. And that was a big key for them down the stretch, knocking down free throws. West Georgia was just 59%, sticking to right about their season average. They were 56% coming into the game, 59% today, 16 of 27, including misses down the stretch that could have kept them alive and potentially won them the game in regulation. CSU crushed in the rebounding department, 49-37. West Georgia got 21 offensive rebounds. So we talked about it in pregame, and we'll talk about it with Robert Moore in a second. Rebounds were an issue in Carrollton, and they're even more of an issue here tonight, as it's 21 points or 21 rebounds offensively for West Georgia. Turnovers, CSU won that battle, 23-19. CSU ends up 4 in favor in that one and picks up the victory. They'll turn their attentions now to Monday, where they'll take on Fort Valley State down in Fort Valley. That's an 8 o'clock tip. And then we're back here on Cougar Sports TV on the 7th. Next Saturday, Point University will take on the Cougars at noon, and then Jonathan Norton's Lady Cougars will go up against Selma at 2 o'clock immediately following that one. So that'll be a doubleheader with the Cougars playing in front of the Lady Cougars in that one. Robert Moore with us now as his team wins 83-78 in overtime. Coach, back and forth that ball game when it seemed like every time one team made a run, the other one had one to counter it.
I'm just glad we had the last run in us. It kind of scared me there, Stephen, because the guy had a wide open layup. He lays the ball in, we're done, and he misses the dunk. And so we take advantage of it with a big shot by BJ, and we're just fortunate to get out here with a win.
Look at it. We talked about offensive rebounding of West Georgia in the pregame. They get 21 of them today. More of a credit to them or things that you all have to work on?
I just think it's more credit to them. They got 2 guys in there. I mean, that guy Thompson, number 30, I mean, he just goes at it all night long. I think he ended up with 21 rebounds. And he's a load. He's a strong guy, an athletic guy, so it's hard to box him out. But we got to do a better job of boxing out, too, so we can get those rebounds.
How about the night of Derek Spear? He didn't play at all yesterday. You're not sure how much you can put him in there, and then he has to go the full way because he's leading the offense.
Oh, he's leading the offense. He runs the show. He's always calm with the ball. And Derek did a real good job today. We started Nick Turner, tried to play Ty Harris some. He couldn't really go like we wanted him to. So Derek did a great job. I'm just fortunate to have him on our team tonight.
And then late down the stretch in the second half, it seemed like when you needed it, your defense set up your offense, especially with the full court press down the stretch.
Oh, yeah, and I think our guys didn't give up at the end. We were down 5-7 points, and I think that pressure that we put on them in full court really bothered them. And I think our guys are athletic enough to do that, and we just got to pick our spots when we do it and don't get beat long. But I thought our guys gave a great effort in playing man-to-man defense and full court defense.
And a nice time as well for your best free throw shooting night of the year, too.
It came at the right time, so early Christmas present. But that's something that we just got to continue to work on, repetition with free throws, because the games, there's going to be a lot of close games in this gym because a lot of Peach Belt teams are just the quality teams as West Georgia, so we just got to be ready to play.
Number of fouls called in this one. Was it tough to create any kind of a rhythm?
And I'm trying to get used to the new rules, but I just got to calm down and just say we got a lot of depth up over there. We just got to play different guys, and we was fortunate enough to hit enough free throws today to win the basketball game.
It seemed like that might have been a difference. How many guys they had, they didn't have near as deep a bench for them as you did.
No, I'm telling you, Stephen, I think if they're going to keep calling the games the way they're calling them, I think the whole part of recruiting is going to change. You're going to have 2 or 3 guys at each position, and probably can't redshirt guys anymore because you're going to have to need them to play. So.
Yeah, we saw you get fired at one time, and a ref almost got you,
Yeah,
didn't
almost
he?
got me. Yeah. I got a little carried away. I take my hat off to R.J. Sessions, too. I mean, he made 6 big-time free throws early in the game on technical fouls, and I thought that was big for us, too.
And then D'Angelo down the stretch. D'Angelo hadn't made anything from the free throw line all year, and then he gets 5 in a row.
Oh, I like that, especially when the game is tight. I think that's what makes a player, that he can make free throws down the stretch when the game is tight. But he got to make them all the time, but I thought it was a good time for him to make them.
Again, you got to come back and play 2 more days. You got 3 games in 4 days. Who did this scheduling?
Oh, I think I did. I don't know what I was thinking. But the Fort Valley game was originally scheduled for Tuesday, and they moved to Monday because of final exam. So we just got to get a little rest tomorrow and just be ready to play on Monday night.
What's Fort Valley look like?
More big, strong, athletic. They got a couple 6'9", 6'10" kids in the post, but they don't move as well. But all around the perimeter, they're just as even as us as far as athleticism. So I think it's going to be a great basketball game down in Fort Valley.
Coach, big win for you today. Congratulations.
All right, thanks, Steve.
Coach Robert Moore, as we wrap things up here from the Lumpkin Center, his team wins at 83-78 in overtime over West Georgia, and they are now 3-1 on the season. We're back with you a week from today, noon, the start time, as Robert Moore's Cougars will take on Point University. The Lady Cougars will play at 2 o'clock against Selma in the nightcap of that doubleheader. So we're looking forward to seeing you then. We'll take the air just before noon. So we'll wrap things up with that here from the Lumpkin Center on this Saturday afternoon for everyone here at Columbus State University and Cougar Sports TV. Your final score, 83-78. CSU wins it. This is Stephen Williams saying so long from Columbus, Georgia.